SaNoah LaRocque is a woman who wears many hats, and now she also wears a crown. And this week, someone you should know. We introduce you to your Miss North Dakota USA 2022. For SaNoah LaRocque, life wasn't always glitz and glam.
We lived in poverty, so of course we faced a lot of those adversities that people in those situations would face. My mom, as I mentioned before, was a bit of a free spirit and kind of exposed my brother and I to situations that we probably shouldn't have been exposed to as children.
SaNoah says despite an abusive childhood, she was able to find the strength to turn to two trusted people in her life, her grandparents.
They were so kind and gracious to let me live with them full time, and that made all the difference in the world. My grandparents are the most important people in my life. They're wonderful Native leaders. They both have their doctorates in education. I mean, they are trailblazers in every sense of the word.
And SaNoah is a trailblazer of her own. She's an enrolled citizen of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa and became part of a movement to fight for the right to wear an eagle feather at her high school graduation in Grand Forks. The effort even garnered her recognition from some notable names.
Just take the story of SaNoah LaRocque from the Turtle Mountain Band of the Chippewa, who I know is watching from North Dakota.
A few years ago, a friend encouraged SaNoah to give pageants a try.
If you watch the clip of me being crowned, my hands are shaking so bad it looks like I'm vibrating. It was the most surreal moment, and I think looking back, I can't even really put into words how it felt.
In addition to being Miss North Dakota, SaNoah is an accomplished dancer, studied at Harvard, and works as a financial analyst. Throughout her journey, SaNoah has remained close to her roots.
As far as we know, I'm the first Miss North Dakota USA who is an enrolled citizen of a tribal nation, which is very, humbling and very exciting at the same time.
SaNoah wants to proudly represent the indigenous community as well as all the people of the Peace Garden state.
North Dakota is unique in that we're one of the states with the highest Native American population, and I'm really happy to represent that. But I'm really, excited about also connecting with and representing, those from Scandinavian and Norwegian backgrounds, which is very strong in North Dakota.
Given her own childhood experiences, she wants to mentor other youth who may be experiencing their own challenges.
Whenever you grow up very poor, you just can't imagine these things, and I want to be able to share that with other kids who may be struggling with feelings of hopelessness or, feeling like there's nothing out there for them.
But perhaps most of all, she wants to inspire other young girls who, like her, may have never dreamt of walking across the pageant stage or of wearing a crown.
Native American women aren't represented in pageantry, and so this is something that I really want to kind of break that glass ceiling for, and so that other Native little girls can look to me and say, okay, she did it, of course I can do it too.
And that makes SaNoah LaRocque someone you should know. SaNoah will compete in the Miss USA pageant later this year, though an exact date has not yet been set.